Morristown is the home of my old Kentucky home. He relies on this awesome Ford to make the horsepower to try to go quicker or further than a 222.
Well, Army, this truck was formerly owned by LD Nation's son, Brent Nation, who won the 91 two-wheel drive title with it.
Oh, look at this, Gary. Check it out. He's out of here. Full pull.
And this is the first Indy Super Pull Jim has qualified for, and he makes a big splash here in Indianapolis with a full pull.
Yeah, Gary, he's about 2 feet on the other side of that 230 mark, so a 232, but 230 is all that counts. He had the balance just about perfect. He goes straight on the start of the race, but instead of hooking to the left like the guys in front of him, he gets it to lift and go to the right. That let him keep his momentum up. You notice the front end up, weight keeps coming. There's your 230 better.
Well, Jim Mattingly has set the benchmark. He's on the top of the leaderboard. He's still in the cockpit, and Army's down there with him.
Jim, a 232, that makes you the man to beat. It looked beautiful.
It felt like just a super run. It tracks perfect. The truck run perfect. I don't know what we could have done any better.
Why did you go straight and everybody else was having trouble hooking left and right?
I made an adjustment on the chassis back in the pit area. I picked that up from the earlier pullers, and I adjusted my chassis so it wouldn't do that.
So once again, the luck of the draw allowed Jim to watch some other pullers go out first as we take a look at Greer Hamilton. He was second in the 93 Grand National Points standings. He's driving a 23 Ford C-Cab with a big 646 cubic inch power plant.
Greer's always been a player in the sport, all the way from the left coast, if you will, California. But normally we've seen Greer in the mini rod division. He steps up now and comes over with the beautiful 23 Ford C-Cab. And he is going hunting for the East Coast boys right now.
Yeah, this is Greer's first visit to the Indy event in the two-wheel drive class. But once again, it's going to take a full pull, and boy, he needs some weight on the front.
Well, he was leaning on the engine.
226, just shy of a full pull, but as they say, close. But what is that, no cigar?
Yeah, but we're not playing hand grenades. We're playing truck and tractor pulls now. He comes out, it looks real good until he gets about 3/4 of the track. Then it really skies on him. And the higher it goes, the more horsepower it takes to pull the sled.
Once again, he gets the nose up in the air. Now, this pull is good enough for competition to go. Right now, let's go trackside and get some comments from Greer Hamilton.
Greer, the number comes up for you at a 226. That puts you in the number 2 spot. Are you satisfied with the run?
Well, I run outdoors. I don't do much of this indoor pulling, and so that's not bad for, I probably pulled indoors 10 times in 10 years.
Let me ask you a question real quick. If you could go back to the starting line right now, would you do anything different?
Yeah, I'd put a little more weight on the front. I took only 1 weight back for my best weight, figuring a short track. So this is new to me. I'm satisfied.
We have a whole lot more pulling competition coming your way from the Indy Super Pull, so stay with us.
Bring you the unbeatable, weedable country tour.
From the Indiana State Fairgrounds Coliseum here in Indianapolis, it's the annual Indy Super Pull, and we are right in the middle of the two-wheel drive competition. Looking now at the leaderboard, Jim Mattingly with that full pull continues to lead. Greer Hamilton is second at 226, and Randy Petro third at 222.
But all eyes right now are on the starting line as the Bad Badger comes out. That'll be Dave Deppy. It'll be a 1992 fiberglass replica of an Aerostar van powered by a 638 cubic inch Allen Root Ford engine. And this guy can provide you a lot of excitement if you're a Ford fan, Gary.
Well, he provided some excitement 1 year ago. We're going to take a look back now at what happened to Deppy. He had a very fiery incident. He was okay. In fact, he ended up finishing 6th. The 93 Grand National Point standings, but some excitement last year under that fiberglass body.
I told you, remember a minute ago I was talking about the safety crew, how they're right on the spot? I rest my case right there.
Well, that was last year, and now we bring you up to this year, but once again, he needs that full pull.
In this sport, he'll have to make a full pull over 230 feet in order to get into a pull-off situation, so he's under a lot of pressure, not only to make a good run now, trying to keep the vehicle together to come back and make a run later. I don't think he's going to do it, Gary.
He comes up short here in the Indiana State Fairgrounds Coliseum. In fact, substantially short of the full pull that he needed, only 214 feet. But despite that, his equipment is faring better this year than last year.
Exactly. I didn't tear anything up. One of the things we're watching as the replay comes up on the screen, the track crew is putting this track back together phenomenally well.
Well, Army, we want to talk to Dave Deppy. Oh, look, maybe he did have a problem after all.
Dave, real quick, you got out of the vehicle, immediately went to the back of the block. What were you looking for?
Well, Army, right on the tail end of the run, I noticed some oil right here on the back of the intake manifold spraying up on my firewall. So something happened right here on the back of the intake manifold. My Indy luck just seems to continue. Last year we had a fire here, and now this year this happened. We had a good hook going, but just one of those deals.
Now one of the ladies in the sport, Charlene Covine, in stress relief 2 out of New Haven, Indiana. A 78 Chevy Love with a big 540 cubic inch power plant.
You notice, Gary, when she went to the starting line, she raised her hands up. That's a safety rule, and I like it. That's telling the track crew that she will not move the vehicle until the safety crew, the track crew, tells her to do so. Hands up means I will not move until told to do so.
Her husband, John, is also a puller and actually ended up finishing second to Charlene in Region 2.
A little bit light on the nose. She's hooking it to the left. Now she starts to bring it back, but I think it's going to be too little too late, Gary.
She had a good effort there toward the end to bring it back, but 218 feet will drop her well off what she needs. Obviously, anything short of a full pull, you're out of competition.
Yeah, that's right. The pressure's on everybody in the field right now. If you don't make a full pull, you're not going to be a player.
Jim Mattingly has to be the happiest guy in the building right now because all he has to do is sit and watch everybody else.
Yeah, but they're all taking cheap shots at him. I'll guarantee you that. Look at this. See, she's drifting to the left. She's got the wheel turned to the right. That's got to be a natural reflex. 218.
I will go down now and talk to Charlene.
Okay, at 218 puts you number 4. That's not bad at all in this type of competition.
No, it's not. There's a lot of guys here with a lot bigger motor than I have, and I'm really glad that it did good. It hooked up and just, it went. It felt great.
Coming up next is Doug Theobald in the Wicked Willie, a 54 Willys with a big Areas power plant. He was the 91 Rookie of the Year. He's actually a college student at Purdue, majoring in agricultural engineering.
I'll tell you what, he's a nice young man, too. I've had a chance to talk to him in the last couple of years and watch him evolve into sport. He's a credit to Purdue, he's a credit to you folks in Hoosier land, and he's a credit to the sport.
Well, let's see what he can do with the Wicked Willie. He's got a chance to watch some of the other pullers and make the adjustments to his chassis. Good solid pull right now. Starts to raise the front end just a bit. He could do it.
Hey, this kid's laying down a shot.
It is close, but not close enough. 218, so 12 feet shy of the full pull that he needed. Once again, the replay from the sled cam.
You'll notice, look at the sled cam, between the white lines, look how dark the clay is. I told you about the track crew. What that shows you, the darker area will hold horsepower. Outside the white lines, look how light it is.
Well, a good run for the 91 Rookie of the Year, and he's standing by trackside with Army Armstrong.
218.4 in this family project. That was an awfully good run.
Yeah, we've been making a lot of changes this winter. We made a lot of changes in the motor and the transmission, the rear end. We was a little bit lost to hit the rev limiter. That's what that fuel was coming out, going down the track here. And but it still turned out to be a pretty good run, I think. Thank you, Army.
Well, before we step aside, let's take a look at a couple of runs from earlier in the competition. Jeff Eshelman in the Ford Heidi's Toy.
Missed the weight on the starting line. The Lee Edwards horsepower was there, but the chassis just wasn't balanced right for him.
And here is Mike Johnson, bit of magic too, and his distance 155.05. So we have a whole lot more coming your way from the Indiana State Fairgrounds with the Indy Super Pull. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Indiana State Fairgrounds, the Indy Super Pull, part of the Copenhagen School pulling circuit, where once again Jim Mattingly is on top of the leaderboard with a full pull. Greer Hamilton is second, and Randy Petro is in third. Well, coming up next is the Miller High Life Special with Steve Olson. He's a teammate of Roger Simon, who we talked about earlier, and Roger will be pulling next. Olson comes out of Farley, Iowa, in a 1934 Ford delivery truck with a big Keith Black Hemi.
Engine sits right on the front of these vehicles. A lot of people want to know why. It's very simple. It's a balancing game. The back of the vehicle is held down by the sled. The front of the vehicle is where you have your weight problem, Gary.
His fellow pullers voted him the 1993 NTPA Mechanic of the Year. He was involved in that 4-truck pull-off here last year. Ended up finishing 3rd, but there won't be a pull-off for him today. 157 feet. That has to be disappointing.
Yeah, something went awry right there. Immediately when it happens, you can watch the vehicle. Now, he's starting to make horsepower, but all of a sudden it'll do what we call nosing over. Right about here. See it? It just nosed over, and the horsepower went away. The engine was still running.
Well, here's the guy that came in as the odds-on favorite, at least in his mind, because he was saying Simon says I can win. Roger Simon, the 92 Dodge Dakota with the big 640 cubic inch Keith Black power plant, the 1993 Grand National Pulling Champion, a 15-year veteran, a 4-time Indy qualifier. If anybody can do it, he probably can.
We're going to find out right now. He's talking the talk. Let's see if he can walk the walk. Full pull, 230 or better is going to do it. I don't think he made it.
Oh, I don't know. Let's take that side view. No, look at that. How close.
1 inch shy.
Oh, my. Can you believe it? 1 inch shy of a full pull.
Boy, Roger, it's a shame. You travel thousands of miles and spend thousands of money and come up 1 inch short.
Yeah, we would have did a lot better. The belt broke right at the end, and I think we could have got that inch out of it. And we're real happy with the position we pulled and what we did. I think Steve would have had a heck of a run, and that's the way it goes, Army. Some go and some blow, but ours only is the $90 belt, so that's not so bad. Thank you.
Our final puller is actually our leader, actually now our winner, Jim Mattingly. This is his second bullet, the Kentucky Colt, a 91 Ford with a 606 cubic inch Keith Black engine. He has already won. All he can do now is beat himself.
Yeah, our finish first and second. That's what he's shooting for. Got a good run going for him. Powers it up on the end. That'll rob him of some horsepower.
Well, in the tradition of Wayne Roush and LD Nation, the previous 2 winners here at Indy, Mattingly also comes into the competition with 2 trucks. He wins it with his first one, a 23 Bucket T, and a full pull. Roger Simon was second, and third was Greer Hamilton. Let's go talk to our winner, Jim Mattingly. Here's Army Armstrong.
Jim, let me be the first to congratulate you. You're trying to give it the old 1-2 punch, but I think you'll take that first place money out of here and be real proud of it.
I'll take the first place and be tickled to death. Our equipment run good. The track's super. I think it's been super all day. I think we just hit it at a good time, and our setup was right.
Let me ask you about that setup. Earlier in the day, I asked you how come you were the first guy to make a pull that was straight. You come back late in the field and make the same straight run. How come? I mean, what are you doing? It's over. Tell me now. What are you doing that these guys are not?
I staggered my tire pressure on the rear. I aired the left side up a little taller so I'd have just a little faster ratio on the left rear to make the truck go straight.
Thanks for sharing the secret with us.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you.
And our congratulations to Jim Mattingly. For Army Armstrong, I'm Gary Lee. That will do it from the Indy Super Pull. We'll see you next week on Trucks and Tractor Power. Now here's word of an exciting